What's going on, guys, and welcome to the next episode of the Crack-A-Pack series. Today we are opening up a very special pack of Future Sight. A lot of fantastic cards in this. Sitting at the top, obviously, is Tarmogoyf. Maybe we can get as lucky as we got with the Innistrad pack and pull a Goyf. But if we don't, that's okay. There's still a lot of other good stuff. The full land cycle is in here, which is great. Horizon Canopy, Grove is in here. Sliver Legion, sitting right around $60. And also other cards like Akroma's Memorial is fantastic as well, sitting right around $24. So what we'll do is we'll look at this as we always do from the limited standpoint. Pack one, pick one, see what we can determine would be our first pick. I will go ahead and preface that by saying I'm not the best in limited, so I'll do the best I can. Hopefully you guys either agree and let me know in the comment section below, or disagree and let me know in the comment section below. Either way is totally fine with me. So we'll go ahead and get into this. So Augur of Skulls is a 1/1 for 2. You can pay 2 and regenerate it, and you can also sacrifice it and target player discards 2 cards. Play this ability only during your upkeep. Not a huge fan of that, to be honest. Doesn't seem that great. Sprout Swarm is an instant for 2 with Convoke, which means you can actually tap creatures to reduce its mana cost by 1. And that does actually, if you tap a green creature, it does actually take a green off, not just a colorless. So you can pay entirely in creatures. It also has buyback with 3, which means you can play, as you play this, you can pay an additional 3. And if you do, you put this card back into your hand as it resolves. Obviously, you can use Convoke with that too. It only puts a 1/1 green Saproling creature token into play, but I just want to point out how important this is because it creates its own mana sources. Because you play this once, you get a 1/1, whatever, you buy it back, and you just keep doing it, and you can actually just start chaining these like crazy. So this is actually a game-winning card. So for now, that's definitely the pick. Semite Sensor Bearer, might be wrong on that. It's a 1/1 for 1. You can also pay 1 white, sacrifice it, prevent the next 1 damage that would be dealt to each creature you control. Not a huge fan of this. Yes, it protects your creatures a little bit, but definitely not the best. Aven Augur is a 2/2 for 4 with flying. You can then sacrifice it and return up to 2 target creature cards to their owner's hands. Play this ability only during your upkeep as well. Not a huge fan of this. Flyers are always good, so it's not a bad card. And I do like that you can actually return creatures to their owner's hands. I think that's hugely powerful, but I don't like it more than Sprout Swarm. And I know some people are like freaking out. I promise it's a good card. Ichor Slick. 2 and a black for a sorcery. Target creature gets -3/-3 until end of turn. You can also cycle it for 2, and it has a madness cost. So 3 and a black. As you discard this, if you pay the madness cost, you can cast it instead of putting it into your graveyard. So that actually lets you cycle and play it if you have 5 mana. 6 mana. Definitely a great card. I love this a lot. Great removal. Still going to stick with the Sprout Swarm. Sorry, guys. Begarden Lancer is a 1/1 for 2 with Bloodthirst 1 and flanking. Whenever a creature without flanking blocks this creature, the blocking creature gets -1/-1 until end of turn. This is fine. It's a good filler on the 2-drop curve. Not amazing, I would say. Fomerai Nomad, maybe, is a 4/4 for 5, and it's just vanilla. But the art looks great, so that's cool. If you're into that, I would not take this card in limited unless I just needed a filler card. Patriation Scorn. I'm not good at pronouncing this stuff. Sorry, guys. 4-drop instant. If you played another white spell this turn, you may play the Scorn without paying its mana cost, and you destroy all enchantments. This is sideboard tech at best. It's really not for limited, I would say. But in an instance where you find yourself up against some enchantment decks, sure, why not? Not bad. Logic Knot. This is a great card for Modern. So it is 2 blue and X for an instant. Counter target spell unless its controller pays X, and you can actually use cards from your graveyard with its Delve ability. So every card that you exile from your graveyard as you cast this brings that X mark up 1. And so basically you can delve out a bunch of stuff, make it a hard counter. I really like this card. This is great. Definitely a 1-for-1 kind of card though. And so for that reason, I'm still going to stick with the Sprout Swarm. Nessian Courser is a 3/3 for 3. It's fine. Filler. Art's great. Grave Scrabbler is a 2/2 for 4 with Madness of 1 and a black. When it comes into play, if its Madness cost was paid, you may return target creature card in a graveyard to its owner's hand. I think cards like this are fine in a dedicated Madness deck. but you are kind of relying on that, so for that reason I wouldn't go for it early on. Dust of Moments is a 3-drop instant, and you get to choose one. Remove 2 time counters from each permanent and each suspended card, or put 2 time counters on each permanent with a time counter on it and each suspended card. So the idea with this is basically if you're playing the suspend deck, which is a mechanic that basically puts cards in exile with time counters on it, every turn you remove one, and then when they're all gone, you get to cast it for free, which is awesome. It's great. If you're in the dedicated deck, you can actually remove time counters and make it a little bit quicker. But if you're playing against a time counter deck, you can actually just throw them off. Basically 2 turns is the idea. So for that reason, I like this more as a sideboard card. If I was already in the suspend deck, I would maybe consider it, but because I would not be at this point, not my kind of card. So Street Wraith, this is a great constructed card as well. A 3/4 for 5 with Swamp Walk, and you can cycle it by paying 2 life. I don't like this card in limited, but it is very, very good in constructed play. Storm Entity is a 1/1 for 2 with haste when it comes into play. It comes into play with a +1/+1 counter on it for each other spell played this turn. So it's sort of mimicking the Storm mechanic itself. I think this is a great card to sort of brew with in a constructed environment, just for fun, but I don't really like it in limited as well. And then our rare Steamflogger Boss is a 3/3 for 4. You know why I'm laughing if you know about this card. So other rigger creatures you control get +1/+0 and have haste. Seems great, right? If a rigger you control would assemble a contraption, it assembles 2 contraptions instead. Fun fact, when they designed this card, riggers, contraptions, none of that stuff existed, and there were no plans for it to exist until Unstable came out. And so if you played at all during Unstable just last year, I believe, you would know these actually found a place. We do have contraptions and things like that now. And this was actually reprinted in Unstable and playable. It wasn't silver bordered. But for that reason, it's not actually good in limited because it has nothing that it goes with. So funny enough, I'm going to go with Sprout Swarm. I really like this card. It may seem kind of silly to some people, but I promise you this is a very good card. So that would be my pick. Let me know in the comment section if you disagree. Please make sure to like this video and comment down below if you did enjoy it. Let me know what I did wrong. Let me know what I did right, all that jazz. But make sure to subscribe if you want to stay up to date, of course, on all of our other content. But with that, I am going to get out of here. Guys, thank you so much for watching. We will see you in the next Crack a Pack video.